Hey everybody, this is Tmika with Scrap the World, and I am here with a Scrapbook Pal video. Today we are making this super cute shaker card. Absolutely love the honeybee hexagon cover plate layers, which I'll show you in this video 3 different ways you can use these dies. So come along with me as we make handmade flowers to make this beautiful shaker card. Let me show you the items that I'll be using. I started out using honeybee hexagon cover plates. There are 4 layers in this collection, or 4 dies in this collection. I'm using the base layer, the middle layer, the top layer, and the decorative stipple layer that goes right on top. They are great for layering. I'm using Lawn Fundamentals clear acetate. I'll also be using a Spellbinders die layered poinsettia, Spellbinders Delight Fantastic Flourish 1, Spellbinders Cinch and Go IV, also Avery's Floating Wishes stamp set, 3D foam circles, scrappy tape, which I don't use in the end, Tonic Studios card blanks, and I'm going to be using my Easy Runner Grand. I'm going to take the card base from the Tonic Studios because it's a heavyweight standard 4.5 by 4.25 by 5.5. I'm going to add a little bit of just paper for the base just to add extra sturdiness to counter the top heavy part of the card. I'm going to cut my acetate down to a little bit bigger than the card base. And then I'm going to cut one each of the layers in white cardstock, except for the base layer. I'm going to cut one in white cardstock to match the rest of the card. And then I'm going to cut several to create my shaker card for the insert. About 6 times I cut it out in some heavyweight cardstock. And this is what I did. There it is, all cut out. Now you can use a rectangle die to cut each of these out individually, or you can do what I did and cut a little square patch right out the middle to use as a shaker. No one will know but you that that's cut out like that, because we're only needing to have that middle section to fill for our shaker bits. We're going to cut a medium-sized flower. There's 3 different flowers. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to call that large, then the medium, and then that small one out of the poinsettia die. I have 4 in each in pink of the large, 4 in the middle, and then I cut a silver one out in the middle, 2 of those, 4 in the small in white, and then 4 in green. I'm also using that decorative flourish, and then I'm going to use the leaves from the Cinch and Go die. Get yourself some clear glue and attach all of those layers, those middle layers. Remember, you want to have enough to create shaker space. First thing you want to do is attach that base layer to some acetate. Set that aside to dry. I cut my acetate a little bit larger, so it's better to have more than to have less. And here you want to go ahead and use your wet glue and attach all of those bases together. Make sure you line everything up accordingly so no one can tell that there's that many layers or that it's cut out in the middle. But again, you can use a rectangular die for this. Look how thick and sturdy that is. Love, love that. That's set for maybe 15 minutes, if that, so that all the clear glue can set. And go ahead and attach your acetate to the back of that and set that aside as well to dry while you work on other parts of the card. I usually put something heavy on top to make sure that that stays flat. Go ahead and attach the rest of the layers that you cut out in your white cardstock, which is going to be the card that everyone sees, whatever color you used. Attach it together with some wet glue, and I put it on around the perimeter and on some of the middle bits. Now I'm going to take 2 of my larger flowers. I'm going to adhere them together with hot glue, and then I'm going to pinch them up, gather in the middle, and just pinch them up all the way around. I'm going to do this for all of the sets. So everything will be matched together in double, so you can have that layered dimensional effect. Also have a sturdy flower base. So I'm going to do those 2. They're all in sets of 2s. The pink are in 2, the white are in 2, the blue are in 2. We're not going to do the silver, the 2 on the side. Nothing silver that was cut out we're not going to do right now. So we're going to layer the top one and the middle one, or the large one and the middle one together. And then grab one of the silver flowers, fold that up like you did the other flowers, and put that right in the middle, offset each petal. Each sets of petals. So each flower has 5, or the large one has 5 different flowers. And then you have your pop dot dimensionals. You want to go ahead and apply a dimensional to the back of the flower. I usually use a little bit of hot glue to make sure that stays on there. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the second one. I'm only going to add dimensional to the larger flowers. And then I'm going to take my 2 smaller ones and attach those together, offset, On the inside of this, I'm going to use some brads, some fasteners, which I didn't mention, but some silver fasteners in the inside of these smaller flowers, just to add to the silverness of everything else. The silver dies are off to the side. Just want to make sure I have something in there as well. And then you want to go ahead and fold up your leaves. So that's all done. I'm going to go ahead and stamp hello on some vellum. And I'm going to use clear ink and then some silver embossing powder to make that hello pop and stand out on the card, using my heat tool to make sure that's nice and set. I am going to fussy cut that out just with a pair of scissors and do a little bit of a page flag at the end. I love a page flag sentiment. I just do. So there's my little page flag right there. Now we're back at, that's dry, our base for our shaker, and we're going to cut off the excess. See, it's so much easier. You know that it's going to work. You know that all the shaker bits will not fall out. I've added my shaker mix, pretty mint and pink and white to coordinate with my card. Also a little bit of silver in there. And then we're going to cut the excess off the top layer that we had dried, and then add some wet glue to that and apply the hexagon top to the base of the shaker. Make sure that you add wet glue to all the parts you do not want the shaker bits to go into. So I added it around the whole perimeter of the card, and then I added my top to that. And you can see the little windows through the little hexagon, little shapes. You can see the shaker. It is super, super cute. And then there's enough depth in there for the shaker to make all kinds of noises, which it does. So after we attach that base layer, we're going to attach the rest of the cards that we put together. You know, we had already put those layers together. Just attach that right on the top, and you cannot see from the top that you have cut out that section in the back. You can only see it from the back, which will be hidden on top of the card. So like I said in the beginning, no one will know. And there's enough room in there for all that prettiness. So I played with that for a little bit, but now we have to get back to work. So I'm going to add some more clear glue to that and attach it to my card base on the front. And I have my card going horizontal. But you can do this portrait style if you'd like. So make sure that's nice and sturdy before you start adding anything else so it doesn't move around. We're going to take our little flourish, and I'm cutting this up into 3 different bits. So I'm using this larger bit to kind of fill in that top left corner of the card. And then I'm adding my flowers. I kind of add the 2 larger sets at an angle, and then I neatly tuck in the mint colored sets on the opposite side of the flowers. And then finally, I'm going to find little nooks and crannies to put my little silver leaves, and then the rest of the bits of the flourish. I tuck a little piece on the end there, and then I end up tucking another little piece at the bottom. So my flowers, my leaves, I just kind of spread out around to just fill in the garden of this flower card. I love all these flowers and flourishes on this card. It's such a pretty, pretty card. And that's me just finishing up that last little bit of that flourish and tucking it in right there in the bottom. I added a little hot glue to that vellum where you can't see it, tucked it underneath the flower, and added my page flag. Later, I add a little hump to it and put a little hot glue on there because I don't like how it was wavering there at the end. But it's a super, super cute card. Love how it turned out. You can also layer this die with different colors. Add fun, festive colors. Add die cuts on the top. You can also take the top layer and offset it to make another cool pattern with it as well. I'm going to quickly show you that. This is just a sample, so I'm taking just a white piece of scrap paper. I added spray glue just for the video, but you lay it on top, cut off the excess, so you're going to cut it twice, and then you offset it a little bit to make your own pattern. It's the more you move it over, the different type of look you'll get. So you want to go ahead and lay that on top, cut off the excess as well, and there you go. You have a cute little cube shape that you can decorate. So I've shown you 3 ways that you can use this cute little card, this stippling die, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. Like the video if you like it. You will find all of this information down below in the description box, as well as a link to handwritten instructions on the blog. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Bye.